Hey everybody, welcome to the Out the Trunk Pod with Jordan and Darius. My name is Jordan. You can find me on all socials at Jordy B Writing.
And I'm Darius. That's D's all up in your area on all socials.
And today we're going to be reviewing Brown Sugar for our movie review segment. This movie came out in 2002, starring Taye Diggs, Sanaa Lathan, Mos Def, Queen Latifah, Nicole Ari Parker, and Boris Kodjoe. Um, Brown Sugar is about Dre and Sydney, who've been best friends since childhood, bonded by their mutual love for hip hop. As Dre navigates a corporate music career and Sydney edits a major magazine, they both struggle to realize that their perfect match might be the person standing right beside them. Shocking. So I'm gonna toss it to you for Act One.
Act one, the roots of rhythm. Longtime friends Dre and Sydney navigate their successful careers in the music industry. As Dre prepares for his wedding, they reflect on the day they both fell in love with hip hop. Let me just say, I counted it when it ended, there were 6 minutes of opening credits, and that's a little long. Uh, the whole prologue, we had the credits running, and
Yeah,
maybe tighten that up a little bit.
that's funny.
That was like my first thing. I was like, damn, they're still showing people.
No, it was, it
We
was
damn near the
it was
middle of the
pretty long.
movie.
Well, you know it's crazy. Well, I watch a lot of old movies, and those used to have like those opening credits used to be like 15, damn near 20 minutes. So this yeah, it's a little bit of call to old Hollywood. Also, this is actually co-written and directed by the same guy who did The Wood.
Okay. They're
Uh,
similar. One West Coast, one East Coast, similar veins though.
yeah,
So
kind of similar vibes.
yeah.
What was I gonna
Boy
say?
meets
Yo, I
girl, they
want to
pretend they're friends, they last a lifetime. They
right,
hump.
right.
Spoiler alert.
Um, right.
What
I
you
want to
got?
know how the hell he got all those cameos in this movie. Like all the legendary rappers and shit in there. Like when Dougie Fresh beatboxing, Rick Slick Rick freestyling and shit. Big Daddy Kane, all the rappers talking in the intro. I thought that was pretty dope.
Talib Kweli, Fabulous had a
Hmm.
cameo. Benny Siegel had a
Yep.
cameo. This is, and I won't get on too much of a tangent.
Hmm.
Before rap just became about getting a bag, there was much more of a collaborative nature to it.
Right.
And so somebody hits up Big Daddy Kane and he's like, "We're filming this movie, and the topic is when did you fell in love with hip hop?" That is enough for him because he just loves the art. Where,
Right.
if you called up, insert, if you called up Future with that, he'd be like, "My fee is 70,000," and you just wouldn't get it. You know,
Right.
and I'm not trying to tell someone not to charge their fee. The game is the game. But like when you in the studio with the attorneys and you writing out legal paperwork, some of the art gets
Hmm.
kind of shelved to the side. So
Right.
when rap is just a hustle, we lose a little bit of the culture in that. And so I don't know how we got there from that, but I think that's kind of watching the movie and you see, like, I don't think you see what the budget wasn't there to pay these people for this. They just did it off
Right.
the love, and you just don't see that too
Correct.
much more in the game these days. So
Yeah, that's true. Um, and also like just black artists collaborating across media forms, you know. Like a lot of people don't know Mal Spike Lee had a hard time getting Malcolm X made. He was running out of money. And so he just hit up everybody that he knew. Michael Jordan didn't I think obviously Denzel probably went in. He like a lot of people helped get that movie made. We don't really see a lot of that anymore um across art forms. But yeah, I want to start out by saying Sanaa Lathan is a generational beauty.
yes.
And I just love watching her in anything. She has such like her range is incredible. I feel like it's one of the most underrated parts about her career because she can play like the adorable girl next door, and then also be like the heartless bitch. You know what I mean? In like the family that prays. You know what I'm saying? She's incredible, and I just love watching her. She's magnetic on screen.
I concur. Actually, for Valentine's Day, the movie theater I go to is running Love and Basketball tomorrow.
Oh
Like
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
four, four sessions, two before I get off of work. So might check her
Hmm.
out. I have not seen. I mean, I've seen the movie, but I
Yeah.
have never seen it on a big screen. So anytime they try to throw back a movie on the big screen,
Yeah, I fuck with that.
fuck with that heavy. So shout out Sanaa Lathan, talented actress, beautiful woman. You said she could play the girl next door. Only in Hollywood is a woman that beautiful the everyday girl
Well,
next
that's what
door.
I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Like in Love and Basketball, she's like the ugly chick that was
Yeah,
next, like that was just there the whole time, and I'm
the
like,
ugly
Houseway.
duckling. Yeah, okay. To be fair, he didn't marry Tyra Banks in that movie, so
Oh yeah, that is true.
he was doing okay for himself. And I think it wasn't it Gabrielle Union he took to prom in that movie. We on a whole different movie.
Yeah, yeah, Gabrielle Union. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For a whole
Mayo on
different
a hot
movie.
dog is disgusting. Uh,
That's a war crime. That's some
Mayo is
serial killer
already
shit right there.
bad, but to put it on a hot dog with
Well, I like
nothing
mayo,
else.
but I'm not gonna put it on a hot dog. That's maybe that's like some like LA shit. I don't know.
So bachelorette party, and listen,
Okay, we gotta talk about that. Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I have a lot of female friends.
Yeah,
Let me just say, if we super tight and you end up at my wife's bachelorette party, which is a little odd,
yeah.
don't be answering to get to know him
Yeah,
questions
yeah,
faster than
nigga,
her.
shut the fuck up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Don't
you
answer the questions at
you
all,
making the
actually.
block hot, man.
Yeah, bro. I wrote that down. I wrote bridal shower game because while she was supposed to throw the answers, I'd have been like blue to everything.
How about don't attend? Can we do that?
But well, that actually too, because she kind of walked into the wolves' den on that one.
Um, that was that was weird, man. And she was lighting them answers up. McKellen 25, this song, that song. I'm like, oh,
And it wasn't even that she just answered like the baseline level. She gave such detailed answers. It was like you just told his all her friends you were in love with this nigga. What is wrong
yeah,
with you?
yeah, pretty much. So I guess that answers my question. Was she being intentionally messy? Clearly. Uh,
She was stupid for sure. I wouldn't say intentionally messy because I don't think she knew how she was coming across. Um,
how old were these people in this movie?
I think like late 20s,
Man,
late
it's always
20s, early
hard for
30s.
me to contextualize because they were adults when the movie came out and I wasn't. So they always just seem like adults, like growner
Adults,
than me. But they
right?
very well could have been playing characters in their mid to late 20s. So what else you got
Right.
for Act One?
Um, yeah, so the hookup, not hookup. Well, they just kind of made out whatever. The little hookup they had before the wedding, the night before the wedding. Um, the only thing I wish that they had not done in that scene was they should. I feel like it would have been a little more potent if they had him like be kind of faded, because you would kind of be like, oh, it was like a drunk slip up bachelor party night, like but he went over there in the daytime, stone cold sober,
Hey,
and
listen,
shot his
man,
shot.
that was a carnal uh
Yeah, very, very much so. Like,
desire that he just had to, you know. I I don't think there was all that wrong with it. Like they accidentally kissed and their titties fell out, and sometimes that happens. Uh, the day before your wedding, it's not.
yeah,
People took it to be so serious. I'm like, man, it ain't that deep. Sometimes you just the moment catches you and you accidentally kiss, and her titties was
yeah,
out for like two
it does
seconds,
happen.
and he left. And so that one we could charge to the game. I think so. So,
Yeah,
um,
and he wasn't married at the time. You
he's
could say
getting married
that.
tomorrow, but I don't know.
I just
I wouldn't
again, it's
advise
just a
telling the
testament
bride
to
that.
no, for sure. I would never, yeah. It's funny. It's just this movie is like a testament to the acting chops and just like the charisma of Sanaa and Taye Diggs because they both have played like super problematic people in movies and we never hate their characters.
I don't. What was problematic about that?
Cheating before the night before a
He
wedding.
didn't cheat. They kissed for a couple seconds and her titty fell out. They
So, okay,
stopped.
so do you define cheating as doing something that you would not do in front of your spouse or significant other?
I understand why someone else would define it that way. I
Yeah.
just prefer to live in a little bit of gray.
Okay.
And
So because he didn't put it in.
no, it's just he got caught up in the moment.
Hmm.
The kiss was not even 10 seconds long,
Hmm.
and he left. I'm gonna go ahead. That's not a flagrant. That's a personal foul. You get two shots. We
Okay.
good. That's not we not
Okay.
not flagrant foul. Not a one nor two. No ejection. Little personal foul. Ball out the
Okay.
side.
He does it. So the fact that he was in love with her, that doesn't make it worse.
I mean that's a variable the bride doesn't have. Um,
Yeah.
so
Right.
um, I'm just saying. Sometimes
No, yeah, you do.
cool,
I mean, it's happened.
cooler
Yes.
heads eventually prevailed.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
They didn't spend the night together. They snapped out of
Right.
it. He didn't even touch her titty. The titty came out, and he was like, "This is a bad idea," and he left. And so, cooler heads prevailed. No harm, no foul. Ball outside. I'm cool with that. That's not cheating. It's not exemplary behavior, but I wouldn't
Well,
call it
yeah.
cheating.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So what's your definition of cheating then?
My definition is fluid. Uh,
Oh, okay. Is it non-binary too?
my definition is on the spectrum
Okay.
of realities, if you will. Sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on the context, some acts are
Hmm.
unforgivable, but in a different
Right.
context, those acts can be. It just depends. It was the
Okay.
night before his wedding. That's a very high stress time. He went and saw
Right.
his female friend. He was probably on like just like sometimes you just things are just moving fast and they kissed and they stopped kissing.
Yeah.
Charge that to the game. I'm gonna ask you the most cliche question that everyone who watches this movie asks anyone who's watched this
Yeah.
movie. When did you fall in love with hip hop?
Um, the day I was born. No, I'm kidding. Probably, I guess the most clear like memory I have. I mean, obviously I grew up listening to it my whole life, but I'd say hearing the college dropout for the first time.
Okay.
I was 11 years old, summer before spring of sixth grade, summer before seventh grade. And yeah, I think the first song I heard was either School Spirit or a New Workout Plan. And I just thought they were like the illest songs ever. They were like fun and catchy songs. Loved the beat. The auto-tune was always I just always thought that was really cool, a really cool art form to me. So with the samples of at the end, I always loved that, and of course the skits were incredible. We broke, five broke. We ain't got it. Yes, that's probably when that was the first rap album I listened cover to cover. So I would say that was probably the first time I fell in love with hip hop.
For me, um, so I remember driving in my dad's car. At the time, he was just dating my mom. The guy I call my dad is not like my biological father, but for all intents and purposes, he's my father. And he was listening to 8 Ball and MJG's on the outside looking in. And I just thought there's a song called Players Night Out and Lay It Down. And I just remember in the most innocent voice asking him if I could say the N-word. And he was like, "Yeah, but don't you dare tell your mom." And we just drove around listening to that, and I could rap along and say the N-word. And I was like, "This is the coolest thing I've ever experienced in my life." And so
Yeah.
that was the day and then I just, from that point on, it was like all I listened to for fucking 10 years. I had to have been like 7 or 8 years old. But A Ball and MJG's album On the Outside Looking In, we listened to it on tape.
Hmm.
And I think the first full album I listened to front to back was Tupac's All Eyes on Me. I would have to fact
Okay.
check that, but that sounds about right. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, so that's my answer.
That's a good one.
Anything else for Act One?
That's all I got for Act One.
I'm gonna hit Act Two, scratching the surface. Dre grows disillusioned with his commercialized job and starts an independent label. Meanwhile, his marriage faces strain as he and Sydney realize their deep connection might transcend mere friendship and music. Um, the song "The Hoe Is Mine." If we throw a Boss Man D-Lo feature on that, we got a hit. I'm just saying, my man D-Lo could save that. I was listening to it and I was like, I could throw D-Lo on this right now
That's funny.
and we could revive this and that would be the hottest song in 2027. D-Lo for the Super Bowl 2027. Boss Man D-Lo is doing the Super Bowl next year.
I think America would have an even bigger fit than they did the last 2 years.
I think his catalog is unimpeachable. 2024 to present day, no one's had a better run. Get that man a Super Bowl.
No, I love his music. I love his music. Uh, Brody with the left hand, Julius Randle.
I just left Louis V. I'm cleaner than some Dove, baby. Hop out AMG. I'm flyer than a dove, baby. See, he said
Baby.
cleaner than a dove, soap, flyer than a dove, the bird. That nigga nice.
First niggas.
I listen to him every single day. There are people that I have actually stopped who've asked me to stop sending them songs.
I believe it. I believe
And then I
it.
cycle in new people who I send them songs, and I can tell when they're getting sick of it. And then I just he's the best out right now. So
Nah,
um
he's cool. I like him.
what you got for Act Two?
Act two. So okay, so he gets married. They go through with the wedding. Um, only been dating for a few months. I think it's pretty much shotgun wedding, basically. Um, in that situation, would you have stood up and said, "I refuse"?
So that goes back to my question. Um
Mhm.
well, no, I wouldn't have played like I said, some shit you just got charged to the game. You didn't
Yeah.
do anything, whatever. Um my question is, do weddings still do the who objects thing and why?
Uh, yeah. Some weddings do. It's optional. From what I hear, you can take it out if you want to. Um, but I've heard it at weddings. I've heard it and I've not heard it at weddings.
The only two people
I
who can
don't.
object are the people getting married. Who the fuck cares what somebody in the crowd cared? I don't get it.
And I've never seen in real life anyone be like, "Oh yeah,
You will get dragged out
don't
my
do
shit.
it." Right.
Like, what? I've never understood it because I'm like, the only two people whose objections matter are the people getting
Or the
married.
bride and groom.
So
Yeah.
like if some my drunk uncle 30 rows deep is like, I don't think this should happen. Who the fuck are
Yeah.
you?
I wonder if it's ever happened in real life. I mean, I'm
Oh, I'm
sure it
certain it
has, but
has.
I wonder if
You've
there's
seen it.
footage of it.
There's YouTube videos of like, and you have to whip through what's real and what's fake. But there's one that's
Right.
really good where clearly like the groom's mistress pops up at the wedding, and she just interrupts the vows, and she's just like, "So this is what you left my house for this morning?"
Oh my God. Jesus.
Like,
Damn.
and
Yikes.
you could see it in it couldn't have been fake because you could see it in the groom's faces because they knew who that girl was. I no, I'm sorry, you could see it in the groom's men's faces
Groomsmen faces.
because like come on, man, they know who that girl is.
The
They
one
knew
he really
exactly who
loves.
she was. They was like, ooh.
Ooh, it's crazy.
Oh no, I've
That's
never
funny.
seen it though.
I so I was actually on TikTok like a couple months back, and somebody commented about like what's the craziest shit you've seen at weddings, and there's threads of like thousands of comments of people
Yeah.
being like, "Yeah, I've worked at wedding venues and shit like that all for a long time," and so many people were like, "Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've seen the bride sneak off with the best man, or the groom sneak off with the maid of honor and shit, or whatever, and then just go back to the wedding like nothing happened." I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Got a
Yeah.
little bit of trick. I got a little bit of a tricky question here for you.
Okay.
Um, have you heard that theory that uh, people actually love the side piece more than they love the main,
Um,
like significant other?
I don't know if it's a theory, but I've certainly heard of it. Yes, I've heard of it.
Do you think it's real?
I mean, it just depends. A marriage is first and foremost a legal arrangement, right?
Right.
And it's very, very, very recent in human evolution that people married for love, right? It
For
used
love.
to, I mean, rewatching Game of Thrones, those are all political marriages, right?
Correct.
And so it doesn't strike me that millions, like millions of years of evolution for marriage being one thing, still there's still some remnants of it. Like a lot of people, a lot of men and women marry for practical reasons,
Hmm.
and get their and find their passion outside of the home. I
Yeah.
remember reading Esther Perel's book on affairs. She's this renowned relationship. therapist or whatever, and she hosts a
Hmm.
podcast, and she wrote a book about affairs. I think it's literally called The State of Affairs. And she has a section about the other women. And
Hmm.
she tells a story about this woman who was side piece, if you will, for this dude for like 40 years, and like he died. And like the family didn't know about her, and like she's
Yeah.
talking to her daughter, and she's just like, my mom's a widow who can't be a widow. Like, and she's just
Yeah.
like, that was her life partner for 40 years. He just was married to someone else, and like he's gone, and there's no closure. She can't go to the funeral. She doesn't get any spousal benefits, but she was like that they were in love. That man loved my mom, but and so
Yeah.
that was honestly one of the more profound chapters of the book, was when she went into discussing
Damn.
the side pieces, if you will. So no, I mean, nothing is universal, but it doesn't strike me as unusual
Right.
that um the affair would be more passionate than the logistics of day-to-day life. But again, also, it's like The Bridges of Madison County, another famous book about an affair. Everybody fun for 3 days, you know. You know,
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood shows up on your
Yeah.
doorstep, and you guys fuck for 3 days, and then he leaves, and you yearn for that your whole life. And it's like, well, you never had to do his laundry. You know,
Right.
you never had to fix his lunch. You never had
You never
to.
seen him on a bad day.
Right. He just strode into town. He didn't age. He never got a beer gut on you. You just this cowboy
Right.
strolls into town and sleep with them for 3 days, and then he goes off to the fair, and you never see him again. But
Hmm.
um life is complicated. And that goes back to the Act One section of, what's an affair? Uh, Depends on the context. And I don't mean that to be flippant. I was joking earlier, but
Hmm. Right.
I'm not I'm not one who deals with a lot of black and whites. And so it's
Yeah.
entirely possible, in my opinion, to love your side piece more than your wife. And I don't think that automatically makes you a terrible person. It just depends on the context of whatever was going on. So
Hmm.
um but I don't know if it's a theory as much as it's just kind of how the thing shakes sometimes. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
How about you? You believe in
Um,
it?
um, More so, I would say, do I think they love them more in general? I'd probably say no. I think I really do believe different people do bring out different things in you and think different aspects of your personality and your mind and things of that nature. Um, I also believe you can love more than one person at a time. Not saying you should, but I do believe it's possible, and I do believe it happens more than people want to say out loud. Um, yeah, I mean, I think. Like, I mean, okay, we've all dated casually and dated multiple people at one time, and maybe there was someone that you dated, and the bulk of the relationship was you pouring into them, and then maybe you were dating someone else, and they were pouring into you, and you kind of felt like maybe you needed that balance, or you needed one to be able to do the other sort of thing. I've I've been in that situation before. So I think it is. I mean, all this love shit is complicated. Like, there's no
Very
rules in this shit.
complicated.
It is very new. It is all very gray. And even to your point about, marrying for love is, I don't think people realize how new that of a concept that is. Women were
It's
not
not
able to have
even
their own
50
bank.
years old. It's not even
I
50
was about to
years
say, yeah, I
old.
was going to say, yeah, women were not able to have their own bank accounts until 1975. So,
Right.
and that
Um,
doesn't mean that that year they were financially stable.
right.
So they still were having to be with people that maybe they didn't want to be with, or maybe they couldn't get away from. Um, So, yes, I mean that shit is tricky, dog. I mean, there's no real rules in it. I mean, there's no rules in this. I mean, there's laws, but there's no real rules in this shit. There's just kind of what you feel like you can do based on whatever options you have available.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of inceldom is that, a lot of men were able to leverage financial stability in the dating marketplace in a way that's no longer as
Right.
potent as it used to be. Now, obviously, it's still potent. No one wants to date someone who's completely out, whatever. But um, it used to be you head down to the factory, get a job for life, and that basically came with the wife because they needed someone that worked,
Hmm.
and now you
Right.
actually
Yeah.
have to be likable in some way, shape, or form. But talking about those grades, man, that's why. when it comes to like affairs and whether or not people leave when they find out, I'm always like, man, everybody's a hardliner when it's in theory, but when in practice and
Right.
you built a life with this person and y'all got kids and a mortgage and y'all have shared friend groups and it's easy to say you blow all that up until you actually have to blow all that up. And
Right.
everybody talks a big game. I don't judge people whatever they do. If you stay with the person that had an affair, if you leave, that's on your prerogative. But what I won't say is what I would do in your shoes because
Hmm.
it's harder to untangle a life than you think. Think about how many married
Yeah.
couples that are just basically one person now.
Yeah.
And imagine having to disentangle the friend group alone to let's say nothing of
Yeah.
to go from I believe it was Lil Rel Howery, the comedian.
Hmm.
He was like the hardest part of the divorce was just not having my kids in my home. Like I used to just
Yeah.
they were just there. There was noise. They were my kids, and now it's like when I miss my kids, I just can't go see them in the living room. I have to make plans to go pick them up or whatever. Da da da
Right.
da. And it's like I could see why someone would look at that and then look at the disentangling of the finances and the mortgages and the friend groups and go,
Moving.
let's have some couples therapy. Let's see if we can make this
No,
work.
that's true. Because I
I
mean,
see
think about
it.
it.
I
Like,
see why someone would choose
even
that.
like in our friend group, there was some intermingling, and there were breakups, and that changed the nature of the friend group. Like it got complicated, got hard to navigate.
So I don't
And that was
mix
just
church and state. Uh,
yeah, and and that was just people dating for a few months. Like it was
yeah.
not, you know what I'm saying? These weren't
Um,
marriages. These weren't lifelong bonds. So yeah, I mean, I can't imagine having to sever off like half of your social circle.
yeah.
Like, people forget like when you get married again, your spouse's family becomes your family.
Yeah.
So like you do have those relationships with your wife's siblings and cousins and parents and so on and so forth, that shit is tricky. And
Yeah.
going from like that role point you made is very poignant because going from seeing a family member every day or every holiday or whenever you want to see them to not is a big transition that people you're not used to. There's no training wheels or manual for that kind of situation. I remember, my parents are divorced. They've only been divorced for like 2, 3 years, something like that. And that first Christmas, when I was an adult, and that first Christmas without my dad, that shit was devastating. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I couldn't imagine that as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Or as a parent having to like walk my children through that. You
Yeah.
know?
So life shit is hard, man. And I could see why someone, male or woman or whatever, looks at those two options and says, I'd rather just stay. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
figure out what it was that led to this. And if they're willing to work on it and they're willing to be better, this is the best of two shitty options.
Yeah.
And sometimes in
And then
life you
shit and the
don't
shit
get
is
good
work.
choices. You don't get two choices. You get two shitty. You don't get good choices. You got to pick the
Hmm.
best of two shitty ones. And
Yeah.
you know,
And you do have to work at that shit. Like it's not every day is not gonna feel like a rom com. You know what I'm
no.
saying? And there are gonna be years where most of the year sucks, and there are gonna be years where most of the year is great. Like
Yeah.
you gotta ride it all out to see, to actually know what you have in your person anyway. There's that too. Like I remember there's an interview I watched with Will Smith and Jada, and they were talking about their relationship, and they were saying around 15 years into that relationship, they're really struggling. And they went and talked to like you know who Ruby Dee is, the older black actress. She passed away, but
No.
you probably seen her and stuff. Well, they went and talked to like a significantly older person and asked them for like marriage advice. And she was like, "How long have you been together?" And they were like, 15 years. And she was like, "Oh, that's nothing. You don't even know each other yet." Like, and that's a crazy amount of perspective to have on a lifelong commitment.
Believe it was Ice-T that was like he's been married like 20 something years and people
Yeah.
come up to him and ask him for advice. He's like, I only know how to be married to my wife. I don't know how to be married to
Right.
yours.
Yeah. Yes.
Like,
Exactly.
I don't know. Like, I can't give you no advice. I don't know you. No, and then you'd be surprised, man. How many couples navigate that issue and you never know about it.
Yeah.
Every couple isn't for putting all their drama in the friend circle. So,
Yeah.
real life is complicated and it's easy, very, very easy to say what you would or wouldn't do when when none of these
When them
decisions are
shoes ain't on
thrust
your
upon
feet.
you. Right.
Yeah.
So let's get into Act 3, man. finding the perfect beat, career shifts, and personal revelations force Dre and Sydney to confront their true feelings. They must decide if they are willing to risk their lifelong friendship for a chance at love. And the third act is they fall in love. The end. Like not really, nothing really goes on here. What you got for Act Three?
Um, well, one of my favorite scenes from the movie is the where he finds out about the affair and they go to the restaurant
Yeah,
and he meets Richard Lawson.
what a way to find out about an affair too.
Bro, that is crazy. Um, yeah, actually, so I this is off the cuff, but do you think she just, I'm not sure how to word this. Do you think she cheated just because she was always going to cheat, or do you think she cheated because that was a reaction to her insecurities about their friendship?
Um, I think she was always gonna cheat, but I don't.
Hmm.
I think she kind of knew. You know, you could look at the how they
Yeah,
looked at each other and their inside jokes and their sniggles and their giggles, and you know that they're the type. She walks in the room and Dre and Sydney stop talking, you know,
right. Yeah, they didn't do a good
and
job of hiding it at all.
no, and so how many years you deal with that? I don't even like. Dre was checked out of that marriage from day one, right? And so when he
Yeah,
quit his job at the record label,
record
he went
label.
and told Sydney first and ate that weird
And
hot
she gave
dog.
him the money.
Right. And he gets home and he tells his wife, I quit my job, but I like you're the second person to find out today who actually found out was the woman I love. Like, like it's just
Right.
how
Yeah,
is your wife the second person that isn't at work to find out you quit your job? Like, because she's
right.
not the number one person in your life, you know? And so
Correct. And yeah,
uh, I think she had the affair because she wanted to have an affair. She's an adult with agency. She can do what she wants to do. But
yeah.
it was not an unfounded uh skepticism that she had of their relationship, clearly, if you watch the movie. So
Yeah. Yeah, she was dead on. Yeah, that's the thing I think with this movie is like, or even a lot of rom-coms, honestly, is that you root for the protagonist and you root for the boy and girl to get together because they're best friends and they're meant to be together, but they caused like a lot of harm
yeah.
in the course of that journey, and they were specifically like these two were really out of pocket. Like, remember when we reviewed like What If? There was like a couple scenes where they did some crazy shit. Other than that, it was pretty much normal. Like they're all over each other, hugging and kissing, and she's calling him baby, and like like what I'm saying, like they were kind of moving kind of crazy, in this movie. And I know like the wife's supposed to be the villain, but you do kind of empathize with her because she knows she's number two.
I've always felt that way. The classic sitcom scene where, the true love interrupts the wedding and then, you've seen a
Hmm.
different world, the scene.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I've always felt for the guy or a woman who gets left at the altar, and it's like their family's there.
Right, you got to pick up
Like
the pieces.
um, I just always felt like, man, we really are kind of giving them short thrift here.
No, for real. Yeah, it's
Like
it's
you just sit in the altar with your
kind of
dick in your
horrible to
hands,
do to a
like, and your whole
person.
family's staring at you like, dude, you just got dumped on your wedding day.
No, yeah, that's I couldn't imagine that experience. Like, what do you do after that? Like, where do you go? What do you go to work tomorrow? Yeah,
Assuming you have a
that's
hotel booked,
well, yeah.
you
You probably were supposed to
you
go on a honeymoon,
you
which
hop in
is
that
canceled, I guess.
car, Uber, whatever, tell them to swing by the liquor
Yeah,
store, and you sit in that room, and yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would do.
yeah,
I'm someone with contingencies for contingencies. I got nothing for that. Like, because like
it's
she just literally runs off. We're talking about a different world, and
yeah,
he's just like, okay.
yeah. Like you just it's like the Travolta meme from Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction where he's just like
And you just know his heart is like in his throat, and he just has no
right.
words.
You probably can't breathe. You're wearing a tuxedo, which is never comfortable.
Hot as a motherfucker. Like you
Yeah,
just,
right. Sweating. You were already nervous.
yeah. Let's get back to
Yeah, I
this
couldn't
movie though. What
imagine
you got
that.
for Act 3?
Um, Yeah, so I got two questions for you. My first one is, I mean, I guess we already talked about it. Is all fair in love and war?
No, but life ain't fair. So,
That's a good point.
um,
Touche.
I believe, I think sometimes you will be treated outright badly by somebody who you would give the world to, and
Yes.
it's not all fair, but life ain't fair, and everyone did what was they did what was right for them.
Yeah.
And also, man, sometimes people just gonna be mad at you, right? Um, what were they supposed to not run off and be together and ignore everything because
Ignore their, yeah,
it's like no, to put it as succinctly as I did in the beginning, all is not fair, but life ain't fair. So, how about you?
that's true. Um, I don't think all's fair in love and well, okay, all's fair in war because that's war. You're trying to kill them. But I don't think all is fair in love. I think there's some shit you just don't do if you love somebody, or shouldn't do if you love somebody. Um, I mean, there's gray areas, and again, context matters and things of that nature. Um, but yeah, certain shit I just feel like is, insane. What else was I about to say? Yeah, like it's just, there's a scene where she breaks up with Boris Kojo's character,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Yeah, I do love you," as she's like, can't even look him in the face, and it's like, did you love him or was he just there? You know?
I mean, what's wrong with that though, right? You know?
I mean,
Um,
well, accepting the proposal isn't wrong.
well, yeah, fair. Forgot about that. Touche.
Um,
For something reason, I thought they were just dating, but yeah.
oh yeah, their shit was kind of quick too. Every relationship in this movie was a shotgun situation.
People
Which
just moved
did
faster back then though. So
maybe that's true.
they didn't have years long situationships like we be doing. So,
Right, that's
so
true. They weren't so afraid of commitment, it seems like. Everyone
no,
nowadays is
clearly
like,
not. There was fucking
yeah.
two proposals in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays everyone is like, okay, who can show they give less of a fuck. Like that's just kind of like dating in 2026. So, um,
Shout out Boris Kojo and Nicole Marie, whatever. They're
Ree
married.
Parker, yeah, in
I
real
guess they just
life,
worked together in movies until they just got married one day. So good for them.
right? And then my last question for you is, uh, should we have done a better job of gatekeeping hip hop?
I think, I guess, sure. Well, so gatekeeping from who?
Hmm. Um, Gatekeeping from that's a good question. I don't want to say
Because
culture wars. I'll just say people who don't appreciate the craft.
yes, I think, we scoffed at the old heads when they complained about they're not rapping about nothing. It's mumble rap. This isn't structured.
Right.
Um, they were right.
No, I'm about to say they were right.
We lowered the standards to a point that I don't think hip hop can. I think rap is just going extinct. And the old
Mm.
heads were right. And when we started allowing recorded freestyles to pass as songs because it
Songs.
banged, and all the beats hot, all it banged, um,
Hmm.
you know, when the old heads were like the Migos aren't talking. What is this song about? What is this Migos song about? And you couldn't answer it, and you said, "Well, it bangs." They were right. We were wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's all
it
I got.
sucks. It's that no, you're right. Because
Right.
that's all I thought of. Not the Migos, but that's all I thought of when I saw like the first act where the rappers talking about what hip hop means to them, and then you have the Dalmatian duo with the white dude and the black dude, and it's like that's kind of what it's turned into
Yeah.
now.
I have in my
Unfortunately, like
notes
this movie
here.
foreshadowed a lot.
Yeah, I have in my notes here, and I kind of remixed it to do the D-Lo joke, but like, the Hoe Is Mine would unironically be released today.
Hmm.
Like it would be like that's just the
Right.
song.
But be dead serious.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, like it would not be a joke. It would be this is the song.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, we didn't gatekeep the standards. We let
Right.
anybody who could string a couple of bars together and we let catchy rule all. And this is what
Hmm.
we got left. We got people who are in it as a job. And what happens when you treat music like a corporate job? You
A
focused on
quick lick.
efficiency, quick lick, efficiency. Oh, how many songs can I record
Hmm.
tonight? Oh, I don't need to go back and re-record this. Oh, why would I bring in this? I don't need to do this. I can just pumping them
Yeah.
out.
That
If I make
whole
30
I
songs
make
and only one grabs, that's fine. I just need 30 more.
right.
Um,
That whole I
and
make 10 songs in a day
yeah,
shit.
because I mean, the efficiency of music killed R&B because R&B you can't make that cheaply. Reason why
No.
labels don't back R&B is because R&B artists are expensive. You got to get vocal coaches, you got to get songwriters, you got to get background
Hmm.
dancers, background singers, instruments.
Riding
You got
camps.
to re-sing. Okay, do this hook like it just takes longer to make a song. Okay, sing it
Hmm.
like this. Okay, sing it like that. Okay, do this, do that. You
Hmm.
can't, why would you do that when you can get some shitty rapper off the street, give him $50,000 and put him in the booth with one producer, and tomorrow he's got 40 records? You know,
Right.
like why would you go through the why would you bring Neo in and have him write a song for your artist? That's gonna be
Correct.
way more time consuming and
And the
expensive.
R&B singers don't play instruments anymore, a lot of them.
Right.
That's a
And
big
so
problem too.
no, I mean sometimes the old heads are right. And the guy shaking his fist at the clouds had a point. And we were wrong. And so this
And
is
now there's
what
no rain.
there's no, yeah, the Frankenstein is alive. It's over.
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, rap as an art form is cooked, man. I don't see.
Yeah, it makes me sad because I listen to certain artists and shit, and it's like they put a lot into just this one song, like
Yeah,
one song. You know what I'm saying? And then of course that translates to a great body of work in an album. And like nowadays, these artists are taking the effort that our older artists put in to one song in the whole project. Like
yeah.
that's the amount of time that it takes them to make an entire project.
You look at, dude, they new EP, they're a new song every 3 weeks. The song is
Hmm.
90 seconds long. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what becomes of rap because I think we've hollowed it out to such a degree.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how it could recover. The best rappers in when's the last superstar rapper? We still talk about Drake and Kendrick. Them dudes pushing 40.
Right.
Cole pushing 40.
Yeah.
People be like, Tyler's a youngin' on the up. He's 33,
Right.
34.
He's not young. I mean, he's not that
No.
young, you know.
It, it's just Tyler been out for 10 years. He's got four or
Hmm.
five records. Like, who's a new rapper who's debuting? You like that nigga is nice.
Yeah, I don't even know. Even like people are like, oh yeah, Jid's young. I'm like, Jid's like 36,
Yeah,
33, something
like
like
it's
that. Like
like
he's not young. Um,
Wale dropped what I think is the best project of 2025, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And Wale my age, I'm 37. Like,
right.
rap is supposed to be a young man's game. These dudes, there's nothing, it's hollowed completely out. The only people still
Hmm.
making good rap music are people who were doing it 15 years ago when it was a different culture around it. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know where it goes from here. I don't.
Yeah, you know it's a problem. It's like similar to like a sports metaphor. Be like, you know it's a problem when people have to highlight that someone plays hard. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like it's like people like I remember there's an interview a couple weeks ago where 21 Savage was like, yeah, Kendrick he really cares about rap. Like he really be like rapping. He's like, I don't really give a fuck about rap. Then don't fucking rap then. What do you like? What?
You know what the he plays hard is for music or rap
Yeah.
especially? His mic be on. His mic is on.
Yeah.
It's a bragging point. You hear him be like, oh, that nigga, oh, his mic is on.
Yeah.
No backing track. He's rapping his lyrics. Oh, I can get into
Yeah,
this.
or it's like, oh, he actually writes his lyrics down.
Like, no, you see a rapper perform a new one with no backing track, you be like, oh shit, let me tap in. He's rapping his lyrics. That's where we're at. That's literally what he's tries hard now is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. What do you rate this thing?
Yeah.
Let's try to leave on a high note. What
Yeah,
do you
certainly
rate this
doing I know.
movie?
I love this movie, and I love that. One thing, real quick, is that the whole movie is an article voice. The voiceover is the article,
Yeah.
and I love how I love the metaphor of them using hip hop as really just telling each other how much they've loved each other their whole lives. I thought that was beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna give this movie 4.5 stars.
Okay. All right. It's hard. I want to make the five special, so I'm gonna give it a four.
Yeah,
Um, because I want to reserve the fives for the masterpieces. But I love this movie, man. I've
yeah.
honestly I had not seen it in a very long time, so it was brand new for me. Um,
Hmm.
and I just loved it. The way it ended with them being little kids again, right where it started, was just a nice touch.
Yeah.
Didn't really care for the prolonged podcast. That's how
Oh, the
radio scene
radio
with Angie
interview.
Martinez. But yeah, we'll go with four because I thought that scene was corny. So I love this movie. So.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Thanks for listening. My name is Darius. That's D's all up in your area on all socials.
And I'm Jordan. That's Jordy B writing on all socials.
Please rate, like, subscribe. We are Out the Trunk Pod on all socials. That is Out the Trunk Pod on all socials.
And for any ongoing movie recommendations, feel free to reach out to us via Gmail, outthetrunkpod@gmail.com. That's outthetrunkpod@gmail.com. It's been a long day. But that's a wrap. Thanks for coming to the movies with us. Next week, we're reviewing Love and Basketball. Y'all take
All
it
right,
easy.
y'all.